On today's episode, we're going to be breaking down the Bulls' first win against Utah in God knows how many years. We're also going to talk about Billy Donovan's comments after the game about the Bulls' defense. We're going to break all that down, plus more, on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. That's Pat, the designer, host and creator of the Windy City Breeze. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls and Chicago Bears Central. Pat, the Bulls get a dub against the Utah Jazz in Utah for the first time since 2016.
Hey, man. Good win. This is I was trying to figure out how we lost to Utah that many times since 2016. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, we had a bad team for most of those years. I guess that is the case when you think about it at the end of the day. But I thought the Bulls played well tonight. I thought this was a good win. I thought their defense at times lacked a lot to be desired. Me and you kind of laughed off air about how poor sometimes DeMar DeRozan looks defensively. I thought that led to a lot of miscues out on the corner. But, here's the thing. There's ups and downs in every NBA game. The Bulls spent a lot of this game dealing with the downs of Lauri Markkanen absolutely cooking. Lauri was just he came out with the mindset today, I'm going to dominate you from the three-point line, and there's nothing you can do about it. But then when you start to take things away from them, right, you take away the paint. The Bulls did a good job in the second half of taking away the paint. When you take away those driving lanes that Lauri Markkanen is able to get easy buckets off of, right, all of a sudden then you go into a second half where, he went into the first half, came out of the first half, 23? You go into the second half, he scores 8 points the rest of the way through. So I thought that, you took him out of the game, and that was the point where the Bulls could do a lot more to get back into the game. I was excited to see what this Bulls team could do versus, a team that's pretty good. And you got to give credit, right? Of course, laughing about DeMar's defense. I thought Zach LaVine had one of his best defensive games of the season in this game. I thought he did a great job on Colin Sexton. Of course, you're never going to completely stop a guy like Colin Sexton from getting to the bucket, but I thought he did probably the best out of anybody who guarded him, and that's including Ayo Dosunmu on Colin Sexton.
Zach had an active game. I know a lot's going to be made about the scoring. He had an active game scoring, especially in the first half. His ability to get to the rim was just being beautiful. But outside of that, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal from Zach LaVine, tied for the highest plus minus on this team at plus 11. Zach impacted the game outside of just scoring today, and that's going to be something that people who don't watch the game don't really pick up on. But for the Bulls to get their first win in Utah since 2016, not the first win against Utah, we did beat them last season.
In Utah,
in Utah, was big. And Lauri Markkanen in this game having 24 points in the first half, ends up the game with 32 points, only 8 points in the second half. It shows that the Bulls did adjust. He also got a little colder shooting from the field, which helped a lot in that as well. But it seemed like it switched from him to Kelly Olynyk, which is my problem with this game. He allowed Kelly Olynyk to go 5 for 10 from three-point range to get 23 points against you. That's a little bit of an issue there.
Yeah, there's still some things to work through, but it feels a lot better working through them in a win, right? I mean, you come out of this game, you've won now 3 of 4. You've won 3 of those games against top teams, 2 top teams in the Eastern Conference, 1 team that's a playoff level team in the Western Conference, right? And you're trying to continue winning these Western Conference games as we go through the rest of this stretch, right? But this is how you want to get started on this. You've got a long road trip ahead of you. You've got a lot of improvements that you probably still need to come to this team, but at the end of the day, you want to win in making those improvements. And so I thought this was a game where the Bulls just kind of, like you said, they adjusted at the half, and they just figured out ways to find open guys and get the ball in the bucket. I thought Kobe White did an excellent job of that. I thought Caruso found guys open a lot. Zach LaVine found guys open a lot, right? Making the job easy. And even DeMar down the stretch there where you saw Vooch flash wide open. On the live call, I was like, throw it to Vooch. And then all of a sudden, right, you see Kobe White's man sag down, and he hits Kobe in the corner wide open, pull up 3. I was like, okay, that works as well.
Well, we got to talk at some point about how many missed opportunities they do with Vooch. I love that Stacey King points it out every single time. Vooch honestly could probably be scoring 6 more points a game than what he's doing right now, just by the missed opportunities that these players miss him on mismatches. It's crazy.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the weird part about the entire night for me, and it was kind of like the funny thing that I thought kept popping up. I just kept looking and going, "Hey, big guys rebound the ball well when they're down in the paint."
Mm-hmm.
It like Nikola Vucevic probably spent the most time in the paint that we've seen him spend down there since probably
The first Boston game.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, honestly, yeah. Because he was just down there. He was tipping the ball back out. He was great. It's like all the things that we talked about this morning, the Bulls actually decided to go out there and implement. Billy Donovan's listening. You ain't slick. You know what I'm saying? But like you see those moments where it's just like, okay, he's able to tip it out. He's able to get you that second chance opportunity. Him and Patrick Williams down in the paint are able to out rebound, what they're putting out there with Vanderbilt and Markkanen. Didn't see a ton of Kessler, by the way. I thought Kessler came in and gave us some good minutes early and didn't really see him go back to him late. But it was the first time, right? You saw Drummond get off down low. You saw and Drummond relax with the finger roll there, brother. Hit him with the Euro.
The Euro, bro. That was beautiful.
But I think the biggest question that we can ask the chat, and of course asking each other and stuff like that, do we see them continue to go with their clear advantage? Because as these games go on, I think Vooch has an advantage over Ayton. I think Vooch has an advantage over who's even the big man in Golden State right now. I don't know. Like, is it Wiseman again? Like,
is Wiseman playing? Is he playing?
I think he's still in the G League. Like, they just sent him down there. It's like, he sucks, kind of. But he didn't. It was weird. But I don't know. But like I think Vooch is our clear-cut advantage every night. And most nights we don't use him down low.
Yeah, I mean, that is something that can definitely help the Bulls offense a lot. Like whenever they make but at this point, right, Pat, we got to ask, like, we keep talking about it. Everybody keeps talking about it. Stacey King points it out every game. At what point do we just realize that that's just now how Billy Donovan's going to use Vooch?
I guess, right, like it's hard to say though, because right tonight he uses them that way. In the Boston game, he used them that way. Now I think even in some of those games where like he didn't spend his entire time in the paint, we've seen Billy use him down low and he dominates. And then we see him kind of drift back out to the 3-point line and start shooting again, right? So like I can't say that we're not going to use him that way when we've used him that way, but it's about how consistent is he going to use him that way, and what games does he feel that's the best game plan. I think that's probably the part that we gotta figure out more so for Billy Donovan. Like, what's the best game plan going into every game? Because we've even seen Billy Donovan go into the half and be like, "All right, give Vooch the ball down low."
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why it's not more consistent, because if you make that a consistent part of your offense, it really frees a lot of things up for the team overall. But outside of that, one of the things that we talked about coming into this game was Patrick Williams after his statement of he thinks he can be a superstar. Not much scoring wise from only 5 points, 1 for 4 overall from the field. But how did you think about Patrick Williams' performance overall in this game?
I thought he created a lot of action off of just him being out there, right? Like I thought there were so many plays where P. Will got down low or was attacking the rim and then just brought the ball out, makes the right pass, makes the hockey assist more so, right? So it doesn't show up in the stat sheet. One more pass, and you're finding the open guy because of him just being aggressive and everybody saying, "Oh man, he's tall. We probably should help down there." You know what I mean? Like, and then they follow him out. Like, I thought he did a good job clearing out when he had the ball in his hands. I don't know, right? Like, it's very up and down in the shots that he takes in games, and maybe that's just what he is with this current team as it is, right? There's going to be some games where he takes 10 shots. There's going to be some games where he takes 4. But I feel like he's still giving you the defensive presence on every play. Larry Markkinen was cooking everybody, so I can't say P. Will did a great job on him either.
Well, P. Will didn't guard him that many possessions, but
yeah, he was running out to the corner on him, mostly on missed switches. But I thought Larry Markkinen did, or I thought P. Will played well defensively for most of the game. I thought there was a lot of times where he turned guys away that were trying to find a lane in the paint, and those are the things you want to see him do.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's this. I think for the people that watch the box score and don't watch the games and they look and say, oh, Patrick Williams was the 4th overall pick, he chipped in 5 points, you're going to miss a lot of what Patrick Williams did bring to this team and pushing the pace, especially on times. He did exactly what we talked about, too, in pregame. He got the rebound and then pushed the ball. He didn't wait for a point guard to pass it to.
Yeah.
He went down there and tried to set some things up. That's what we wanted to see from Patrick Williams. Next up, we're going to talk about Billy Donovan's comments coming out of this game about the defense of this team. But first, I got to talk to you guys about Turo. Turo is the world's largest car-sharing marketplace. With Turo, you can book any car you want, wherever you want it, from a community of local hosts. Browse a huge selection of vehicles for just about any occasion or budget across the U.S., UK, Canada, and Australia. Book a spacious SUV or minivan for a family road trip. Get a classic or luxury car for a special event, birthday, or holiday. Find an affordable economy car if you're on a budget and just need to get from A to B. Test drive the new electric vehicle you've had your eye on to see how it fits in your everyday life. Many Turo hosts can even deliver the car right to you. Every trip is backed by liability insurance. Terms and conditions and exclusions apply. Forget boring rental cars and find your drive at Turo.com.
We want to thank you for making Locked On Bulls your first listen every day. For your second listen today, check out Locked On Sports Today for the games that matter the most. To the big stories in sports, go beyond the scoreboard and behind the scenes with local experts and insights that only Locked On can provide. Locked On Sports Today available on this app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts.
There you go. All right, Pat. So Billy Donovan had some comments about the defense after the game. Go ahead and take it away.
I mean, he basically, Joe Cowley asked him kind of, what happened? How does Larry Markkinen go off for 23 in the first half? And Billy Donovan visibly fired up about the Bulls defense and what it has been this season. And essentially talking about, how you have to do so many things because there isn't a ton of rim protection. So you have to do more things to protect the paint. You have to keep guys in the slot a little bit more. And if you're not making that quick adjustment coming off of those plays, you're going to find those wide open guys in the three-point line. And guess what? If you don't realize that that's a possibility of opening up, you're not going to be able to get over to that defensively. Very much essentially saying, hey, we know what's going on. We see what's going on. We have addressed what is going on many times. And again, we hear Billy Donovan calling out this Chicago Bulls defense basically for him continuing to have the same conversations that he's had all season and that we've heard him have on what is it? Heard him have on the post-game show before. We've heard him have it on the post-game show last season. It just seems like there's just certain players on this team that do not care.
Well, and that's the biggest issue where that lies at. And we'll see. Hopefully, if it improves as far as the defense. But I still have to go to. I understand when you look at this team, the amount of blown up switches, the amount of open 3-pointers that came off switches that just weren't completed correctly. It just seems like this team moves timid out there defensively for a while, and then usually they end up finding their rhythm. But God knows, man, I haven't seen so many blown switches from a professional basketball team in a long time, bro.
And Billy Donovan talked about that as well, right? Like he basically said that the Bulls are one of the best in the second half at contesting shots. And in the first halves, they're one of the worst teams in the NBA at contesting shots. And he spoke to the differences that come into play when you've just got a hand in the face on guys in the NBA versus not. And at the end of the day, right, it comes down to this. if you're able to do it in the second half of the game, it probably means you have the ability to do it. It's
Great
just
point.
about want to. And a lot of defense is about want to. Like, you can't tell me that every single game Billy Donovan has to sit there and tell these guys, hey, we can't give up the corner three. We can't get over on that. We have to get like I get it, right? Like there's a coaching scheme and there's a part of this that does go on Billy Donovan. And there's moments where it irks my soul where you see, right, like Billy Donovan going with Alex Caruso over Patrick Williams in moments. But at the end of the day, if I'm telling you what the issue is, and you're still not doing it, at that point, it's almost, I mean, honestly, it's almost a sign of disrespect, but also it just shows that it's not your focus. And I think the thing is, right, like we see the players that don't commit to it, right? Like we see DeMar DeRozan just like look out in the corner and go, hey, he's open. I'm not going to get out to that, right? Like we've seen that multiple times. I think Kobe White's been a little bit better about it this year. I haven't seen him a ton, but played really well tonight, and we'll talk about that. But I think that's, like those guys that you look at on this team, Dragic at times and different things like that. Those are the times where you see all of a sudden it's just like that guy's wide open yet again. And it's the same things. It's the same things we were saying last season. It's the same things we were saying. Heck, I give credit to Zach LaVine because he at least looked like he wanted to play defense tonight.
Yeah, and was fully engaged on the defensive end tonight. This team has definitely some things to work, and I don't want to be a Debbie Downer when we're coming off a win. The Bulls are now 3-1 in their last 4, which is good, building some positive momentum. But they got to get this defensive thing worked out, especially when you look at the firepower of the next 2 teams, the next 3 teams they're facing, because the Sacramento Kings also are killing it offensively right now. So the Bulls got to figure it out defensively.
Can you imagine if we do this versus Golden State?
Oh. If we played the way that the Bulls played in the first half on switches in this game against Golden State, that's a 30-point lead at halftime.
I mean, and that's what it comes down to. And you know what it is? It's weird, right? Because it's like you knew coming into this game what drove the Utah Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
You knew it was Larry Markkinen shooting the 3 ball.
Yeah.
It's all we've seen on the highlights all the way through. I don't even get to watch the actual tape breakdown of the game. And I know it's Larry Markkinen shooting the 3, but actually I do get to watch the actual tape now. Shout out to the plug on that one.
Who's the plug?
I don't know. What's going on? What are we talking about?
We don't know. Nonetheless, just know.
But
just
anyway.
know. We in
Woo! But yeah, I feel like, right, like those are the moments to me where you look at how far this team is going to go and how they're going to be able to compete against some of these top shooting teams. And you have that question mark of, okay, if you're not going to be able to get out to that guy, how do you overcome it? Now the Bulls did overcome it tonight by, again, closing out better in the second half. It shows that they have that ability. And I think the biggest thing there is, right, Boston's one of the top offenses in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
They closed out well in the second half. Closed out okay in the first half too. It's almost like when they know they're facing an entire offense that does that, they try even harder to shut that down.
Yeah. We'll see, man. The next 3 games, woo, it can get ugly for the Bulls. But knowing how this Bulls team play, we may see some of the best defensive performances we've seen in years from the Chicago Bulls. You just never know with this team.
And I think that's the weird part, right? Like, would any of us be shocked if the Bulls came out and shut down Golden State defense? Like the Bulls really are one of the best.
Shutting down Golden State, yes.
Defensively,
yeah,
I wouldn't because
now the Suns no.
If they
the Sacramento Kings no.
I wouldn't because here's the weird part. I've seen these guys be shut down this season, like multiple times.
I understand that, but go and look at the Bulls' record the last 5 years against the Warriors.
Oh, 100%. Listen, awful. I get that, and the Warriors set a record on us almost every time they play us, basically. You know what I mean? But like with how the Golden State Warriors have played this season, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bulls went out there and played really well defensively on the 3-point line because that's what they knew to focus in on. And Stephen Curry had a tough shooting night, and you know what I mean? Like it would be things that I've seen this season. So I wouldn't be like, oh my God, the Bulls did this. I'd be like, they played well defensively tonight and they closed out the buckets well. Why can't we do that every single night? How's Larry Markkinen go for 30? You know what I mean? Like that's what it comes down to for me. It's like, I love that you did that. Why couldn't you do that versus Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Yeah, you know I mean, like I don't know. So the Bulls are a weird team, bro. Again, beating another above 500 team. We're still what we're 2-7 versus below 500 teams.
Yeah,
and we're like 5-3 versus above 500 teams. Make that make sense.
It's crazy. It's really wild. Just the discrepancy in the Bulls against teams below 500. It's crazy.
I will take this over last year though.
Oh, for sure.
Because no one really cares if you lose to a below 500 team except Bulls fans. But nationally, everyone cares if you lose to multiple above 500 teams.
Yeah, that's a
fact. Man. Hey, but we appreciate you guys for showing love to the channel. Got to get into some of the actual individual performances that we saw today because, bruh, we saw some hooping today from a multitude of different guys and this and that. But at the end of the day, we got to tell you about LinkedIn. Here's the thing. These days, every new hire potential can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best and most qualified candidates available. That's why you got to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right people for your team faster and for free. When I was looking for editors for the Windy City Breeze, absolutely went looking on LinkedIn Jobs. All you got to do is post your job, then add your job and the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you are hiring. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview. That's why small business rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply.
All right, let's get it. See? Ice Spice.
Yeah.
What is that?
Hey.
The Bulls bench outscored the Utah Jazz's bench 39-18. The first time that we've seen the bench really bounce back in a major way that we saw at the beginning of the season for the last few games. I know you wanted to talk about some individual performances. Let's start there. Who shined the most off the bench for you? I think I know who's going to be.
Gotta be Kobe, right? Gotta be Kobe White. I felt like this was a game that you look at and you say, oh, maybe there's still more to Kobe White than meets the eye. Now, whether he continues this, right, could tell us whether he's a bench player or should be in a starting lineup. But I thought Kobe White did an excellent job, not just offensively, defensively, but even finding passing lanes, finding guys cutting to the bucket. I thought he did a good job recognizing what the defense was giving to him. Loved what we saw from Kobe White.
Kobe White played a game in which his shot wasn't falling initially, and we saw him do still some of the same things, the deflections, the tips, the passing.
Yeah.
And then he had this dunk on Lauri Markkinen. And you literally saw a change in Kobe after that point. And the confidence that Kobe played with down the stretch of this game, the step back, he hit that dunk on Lauri. It was a step back mid-ranger at one point, a step back, a way back there, Steph Curry range three-point shot at some point. Kobe White balled out today. And seeing that and I've always said this, I said this over on Central as well. It was always that, like, Kobe's always going to be a streaky shooter. But the difference with Kobe now than then is Kobe is giving you things when the shot isn't falling. But when his shot is falling, he's still doing those other things, and it just makes him a more complete bench player on here. And I love seeing Kobe White play again. Like, it's been a while since I've legitimately been able to say I love the way Kobe White plays.
Yeah,
I have loved the way Kobe White plays in a few of these games since he returned from injury, for sure.
Yeah, I think he's really showed out. And you know what? I think it's also just finding the role and finding a good rhythm with the guys that he's out on the floor with, right? You see a lot of those other bench pieces coming out there, making things easier for Kobe White, making it not as right. Like this team last season, the bench scoring was Kobe White.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was all we kept here. Oh, we wait till Kobe comes back. Wait till Kobe doesn't have to deal with that this season. Drummond able to chip in 10 and 10 on that, 5 for 8. Nice finger roll on that one. Goran Dragic gave you 7 points on a little tough shooting night, 7 or 2 for 7. From the mid-range couple of shots he was able to knock down there. I think he got 1 3-pointer to fall. So, but Caruso coming in and chipping in and playing some good minutes for this team, right? Like, so it's not just all on Kobe White's back. And I think that's the part to me that has allowed Kobe to flourish when he has come back. And at the same time, I think Kobe White possibly working with Goran Dragic, because when Kobe went on that little run, where he was knocking down shots, got the dunk. You saw Goran right over there. It was like, that's what I want to see from you. And Kobe was looking at him. He's like, I know. Stop hitting me. Like, so I thought that I feel like Kobe's found the right, very much like P. Will, right? He's kind of just found his role with this team as it's continuing to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And he's settling into that role. He's finding it. He has players now that can set him up in better positions. Having a player like Goran Dragic out there who's going to – if you're open, Goran's going to see you. Goran could not be looking even in your direction, and he's going to see you.
Goran Dragic with the pass of the night, I'm assuming, right?
Bro,
yes.
Dragic
with the no look. Sure. The no look. First off, Goran apparently just doesn't need eyes. Like, he's a ninja.
Why? Why eyes? Who needs them? Who needs eyes when you're going Dragic? But the other player off the bench I think we do need to talk about, Andre Drummond, a double in 14 minutes off the bench, 5 for 8, 10 and 10, 1 steal for him. How'd you feel about Drummond's game?
Drummond is doing exactly what we brought him here to do. The biggest thing that you have to give AK credit on is the pieces that he brought in to solidify what your stars are supposed to be doing, are doing their jobs. And Andre Drummond is doing his job in spades. 10 and 10 in 14 minutes. How do you grab 10 rebounds in 14 minutes? Now, granted, at least 3 of them are probably on him.
He just got another rebound just now, by the way.
Always. You know what I mean? Give it a sec. Rebound. But at least 10 of them are, or at least 3 of them are him trying to put his own layup back in and grabbing the rebound off of that. But still, you know what I mean? Like, I can't, there's nothing I can say about Andre Drummond that is bad. And how he rebounds, bro, like, it's disrespectful. Like, you see other dudes jumping, and then you just snatches Drummond, like, stop. Yeah. Why are you jumping? Give me the ball. Now go away. Like, Lowry went up, and I swear he two-handed a rebound, and I was like, about to say Lowry got the offensive rebound, and Drummond just jumped up with one, cuffed it, brought it down, and like shouldered, and then Larry Markkinen just shook and ran down the other end.
Oh man, yeah, Drummond is everything that he's advertised to be, everything that we need him to be. He's been playing great for us. The thing that I like about Andre Drummond too is that when he's out there, there are certain situations where he has the ball in his hand, and I'm just like, oh, you're dribbling a little. Oh, a Euro. Okay, all right, let me shut up.
Hey, bro, I swear, there's so many moments where I'm just like, hey, bro, Dwight, you didn't have to leave America to go do all that stuff you want to do. Andre Drummond doing that right here, bro. You ain't got to go to Taiwan. Euro step with a left-hand lay off the right side of the glass. Andre Drummond got you, bro. Just come on back.
Even the defenders were looking like, wait, did he just do a Euro step?
Colin Sexton was salty. Yeah, Sexton was gone.
Hey, listen, I've never seen somebody be so animated and give so much effort and suck defensively as Colin Sexton.
Yeah, Colin Sexton pretty bad defense.
Like literally, he has the same.
He get a lot of smack, like tipped passes, or like he'll smack the ball down. Yeah. He does that actually pretty well, but like just on ball, yeah, he's pretty bad,
bro. And then he does all the clapping and he gets all animated. It's like, bro, you realize you just got cooked, right?
Hey, that's young bull, man. I ain't got too much bad to say about Colin Sexton right now because I rewatched that game where he was in college, where he went like half his team got ejected, and so he had to play 3-on-5.
That's funny.
And almost won the game. And I rewatched that, and I was like,
Colin Sexton
that's a
ball.
dog, bro.
Yeah, he can ball. He can ball, but I'm glad he didn't ball out tonight. 7 for 11 for Colin Sexton, 17 points. Bro, we're getting ready to wrap up. Any other performances you want to make sure we mention before we wrap up and send it home today?
Listen, I heard that the pep talk from Tony Bradley at halftime was phenomenal. I thought he did a great job hyping up the team and getting them ready. He was the reason that they closed out on Larry Markkinen so well in that second half, bro. They just, hey, man, you got to give Bradley credit where credit is due.
Hire Tony Bradley as the coach right now.
Might as well. Billy, get him out of there. Fire Billy. I think the biggest question right now is around performances and different things like that. When do we start asking the question, what is Alex Caruso doing out there?
Defending.
I sometimes. Alex be fouled a lot.
But but that's because Billy Donovan keeps putting him on these tall, long players. That's not Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso is not Lonzo Ball when it comes to switchability defensively. Lonzo can switch on to some fours and some centers. Alex Caruso, what we're seeing at least this season, if you put him on a player with length, that man is an average player. He's elite everywhere else.
Because that wasn't the case last season when he was out there. We watched Alex Caruso defend Giannis Antetokounmpo very well.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to Alex? Like, Alex is out there, and here's the thing. If you're not giving me the versatility, now he's still really good on guards. Yeah. He made Colin Sexton struggle a lot tonight. He's still a really good defender. I'm not saying he's not. But I feel like Caruso, like, the defense on the switchability, like you said, has taken a step back. Mm-hmm. And the offensive decisions are bad sometimes.
That's a story for another day. We're gonna have to break that down.
Caruso like steal the ball and then like throw a behind the back pass right into the hands.
Bro, you know what it is? You know what it is? Honestly, Alex Caruso sees Goran Dragic doing so much no look passes. He says, "I can do that," and finds out very quick, no, you can't.
Hey, bro,
Mr. Clean, you can't do it.
They be going nowhere, bro. He be catch that.
Hey, do you realize that Alex Caruso looks like a grown Tommy Pickles for real?
Nah, Alex Caruso looked like Mr. Noodle's brother, Mr. Noodle. Remember the other one that used to step in. Remember the other one? Just like
we're done. That's it. Pack it up, bro. This man said we got a Mr. Noodle reference on Locked On Bulls. I'm done, bro.
Hey, bro.
I'm done.
I got a 1-year-old daughter. I've never said that before.
Wow.
Hey,
wow.
Bro.
Okay, yeah, it's time to go, bro.
Mr. Noodle's brother, Mr. Noodle. Hey, appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. As always, hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports. I'm on the wrong channel. Follow me on everything at Locked On Bulls. You can follow us both. Follow me on everything. I'm tired, brother. I'm tired. We've been up. It's a West Coast game. Follow us both on everything at Locked On Bulls. Follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. Haize hat is attached to his beard.
Oh, what the hell? Make sure you follow me at CEO Haize. That's CEO Haize. Thank you for making Locked On Bulls your first listen today. And for your next listen, check on Locked On Sports Today. The biggest stories of the day, plus instant reactions, big game recaps, and the take of the day. Available on the Odyssey app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. For Pat the Designer, I'm Haize. This is Locked On Bulls.
Oh, is it?
Love you guys.
Chicago Bulls Central.
Peace, y'all.